I was reading a novel the other day, and the guy said something about how, put that back in, how parts of the brain, in the brain, the grief and love are in close proximity. And that doesn't surprise me. You know, I'm sure all of you know that all too well. But I think there are other aspects that are in really close proximity that are more surprising, maybe. You know, tragedy, comedy, the two sides of the mask. Is it this? And, you know, I might find myself lately, I'll just belly laugh over things that in some ways really aren't funny, but they're kind of funny. And I think that we have to recognize we hold, Walt Whitman said, I contradict myself, so I contradict myself. I'm vast. I contain multitudes. And we contain, you know, our feelings can just, you know, I love that guy. He doesn't love me back. I hate him. You know, I'm courageous. I'm going to face the day. I feel renewed. I got to take a nap. It's too much. So a lot of that back and forth, and somehow, you know, we have to contain it all. That's the human condition. I was watching Eckhart Tolle the other day, brilliant guy, if you haven't watched or heard, I listen to his lectures a lot. And he was saying, past, his thing is be in the now. It's, you know, it's the best advice ever, but he said there's past, there's future, but learn how to dwell in the middle, in the now. And I love it because it's a prayer pose. Namaste, you know. And we're all in this predicament. You know, so if somebody's angry at you 1 minute and wanting to befriend you the next, or you've forgiven somebody and the next minute you just want to choke them, you have compassion for the world, and you know, rage against the dying of the light. Dylan Thomas. Forgive me, like I can barely get across the room, but, you know, Nine of Pentacles. That's an Earth energy card, Pentacles energy. You know, being very connected to nature and to your own body, your own nature, accepting yourself, not putting on a false front. Standing your ground in some way, and creating, look at the environment this person is in. Creating a good environment for yourself. And you might be in the heart of a nasty city where it's hot, or, you know, you can hear sirens. I lived in a couple of places near hospitals where it was just sirens all night. And you acclimate to it somehow. And able to create this kind of climate, acclimate for yourself. Some kind of sanctuary. And there's something about the hawk and the blinders on the hawk, you know, that's how you, she's got the hawk glove, and the hawk wears blinders. And you only take them off when you want the hawk to fly. It's a kind of control. And the glove, they come back into your hand. Talent, you have to wear the glove. There's something about that. Is it this? Hierophant, also in Earth energy, card of Taurus, card of belief. Higher path, okay, there are two. Because Taurus, I mean, Hierophant can go so many ways. Hierophant, Ace of Wands. Well, looks pretty positive so far. It's like independence, this person's standing on their own 2 feet. They're in control of that hawk energy. They're in a kind of, it's not really the wilderness, it's a garden. It's not a wild bird, it's a trained bird. You know, somehow the ability to tap into your deepest self. We often say higher self, but it's also, I think this is Eckhart as well, the deep self. And this is how you show up in the world. How we show up in the world. You know, 1 foot on land, 1 foot in the spirit world, or in the world of the devotee. You know, these 2 guys are paying homage somehow to this person who is a representative of God on earth. Or are they? This is a new beginning, a new direction. And maybe it could be like somebody's really trusting themselves as an individual, as an independent individual, and not part of a system. Could be that. There's some new inspirational direction that's creative, because 5 in Major Arcana Hierophant can be a kind of controlled by the book energy. Yeah, let's get a few more. Is it this? Page of Pentacles. That can be an offer in Pentacles energy. This is weird, but I'm, in Christian tradition, there's the communion with the host. This is looking to me like the host. That's a little wafer that you eat that in the ritual is supposed to be the body of Christ, of the Christ consciousness, let's say. You know, this whole reading is kind of taking flight here. Something small in 3D that somehow connects us to higher self, deeper self, but in a new way. It's taking a new path. One's energy can be directional. Something more creative. And the host really, that wafer they give you is really a symbol of, it's eating God in a sense. Taking it right into yourself as your sustenance. It's part of you. I had a friend who was Catholic, grew up Catholic, was taken to church by her parents. They somehow, maybe it was a Catholic school, they somehow got into the, I can't remember what it's called, but there's a little room off by the altar where they keep the candles and the cross and box of host and the goblet for the communion wine and all of that. And she and her friend broke into they went in, probably not with any authority, and they ate the host. They ate a bunch of hosts. They're gluey, they're weird, but they wanted to do it for themselves. And had they been caught doing this, the priest or the minister or the guy in the fancy hat who says, I'm the representative of God, wouldn't approve of this direct line beyond the ritual, creating some kind of new ritual. And speaking of that, I digress a little bit, but this kind of thing, throw the cards, you have a connection to God through the cards. You have a connection to God, period. However you want to call it, to the deep self. You don't need somebody to mediate it for you. We have teachers, we have guides, we have people who can interpret the word, but ultimately, and the church didn't like people who did this. This was considered, they put people on the pyre for saying, breaking orthodoxy. To assume that you have a direct connection, it didn't go well with Jesus, did it? I don't know why this is all bending toward, I believe in a kind of pantheistic, God is everywhere. But somehow we have to translate it for ourselves, best we can. Is it this? These two? This one. Four of Wands. Ace of Wands. This could be the personal as well. Aces can speak to the personal, as well as to an opportunity. An opportunity for something new, a new direction, new personal direction. Nine of Pentacles, the card of the personal. Nines speak to the individual, so do aces. It's almost like a new direction for the hawk. The hawk's supposed to get something and bring it back. This is a card of union, reunion, accord, coming together with somebody, equal distance. Moving one's energy in that direction toward, I was looking to see, it might be a church in the background. I'm not sure. But this looks like the pagan holiday. It's not inside the structure of the church or the castle or whatever that is. It's not inside structure. Fives can speak, Hierophant can speak to the structure, the kind of straight-edged. This is open, this is celebratory. Whatever this is that we partake of, that's a kind of direct line to the divine, to the God within. And it's not quite in this person's hands. It's like floating as if it's just landing or just being released. Just being released, I'd say, because the hawk has yet to take off. I really don't know what I'm talking about here, but we are vast. We contain multitudes. We'll try to figure it out. Page of Wands. So we have two pages. New. Young. New path. Some new way of receiving. And we might have to move toward it as it moves toward us. It's a lot of fire energy and earth energy. And there's something about setting your heart on fire. It's like a controlled fire. It's not burning out of control, because we need that sort of element of control too, not to go, hog wild in the bush. Page of Pentacles, please. And let's get grounded. This is awfully... Wheel of Fortune. The wheels are sort of reminiscent of this. Pentacles in the person's hand. I think it's somehow kind of, this is a card of destiny and karma and things turning in our favor. This might be an opportunity to move forward like that. Almost like this is the wheel. It's the host, now it's the wheel. A way to move forward, a way to advance in a positive way. Somehow liberated from any... If a tradition has been inhibiting, if there's a system that's held you back, a belief system that's held you back, or if you're dealing with somebody who is rigid in that way, things are going to change for the better. And I think for you, Nine of Pentacles, that card of the individual, you may have differing belief systems, but there's also this card of union. Something outside the system, outside the church. Something new, fresh, young. Tell us about Page of Wands and the new direction, please. It's a good direction, whatever it is. The wheels are turning in your favor. Nine of Cups. Another 9 card. Nine of Cups is, what you love. It can mean a lot of things. Indulgence and making yourself happy, and that's part of it. Not the indulgence part so much, just personal happiness, moving in that direction. It's new, it's creative, it's inspirational, and it makes you happy. But again, I'm reminded of that love and grief being in proximity. What's funny and what's tragic being in proximity. We live in a world of dualities, and it's not only the two, it's I contain multitudes. Ace of Wands, Knight of Cups. Moving toward love, it's a new direction. Or some Knight of Cups person is coming into this Nine of Pentacles person who's good on their own. They've created an environment that nurtures them. Him, her, them, they. And it might be some kind of love offer, romantic love, because this has a tinge of that. But it could also just be love is on the way, Love is in the air, love is on the way. And it might be you following your own heart. Knight of Cups, Ace of Wands. Cups speak to feelings, right? Moving towards something that makes you happy. You're an independent person, though. You know, you're not going to bend the knee to a system. You'll kind of transmute that into an internal sense of, you know, you'll eat the wafer. You'll consume and be consumed by the divine. This is just a symbol of it, right? But in this case, it's not empty ritual. And I'm seeing this, I mean, the cup, the communion cup, the Holy Grail, something like that. What about the reunion card? Union, reunion. We have Knight of Pentacles. You know, slow progress, having found a direction toward this place of accord, you know, harmony, and also like I'm hearing the chord, the harmonic musical chord. Something real, something you can count on. Pentacles also speak to sometimes to money, to counting, to time, tick-tock. The independent person who has their own resources. And again, it doesn't necessarily speak to money. Just to the ability to sustain yourself. You know, off of this communion wafer. It's yours. It's yours for the taking. It's your birthright. You don't need to belong to a particular sect or denomination or anything like that. You don't need to be inside a church. The church is inside you. Take me to church. Temperance card on Hierophant. That's a card of kind of transmutation, you know, alchemy, changing one thing into another, blending the two. Card of Sagittarius, fire energy, all these fire cards. Four of Wands, Page of Wands, Ace of Wands. Lighting the heart on fire. This one has the wings, and over the heart, the triangle, the pyramid shape. Triangles are supposed to, there's one theory is that they somehow were a way to concentrate the energy from above. They were temples. Card of divine timing, as is Wheel of Fortune. There's something in the moment. Like, remember Eckhart was saying, there's a past, there's a future, there is, but there are concepts in our head. We remember, we anticipate, but here we are right now. And that is the opening. You know, you can't really move forward from. You have to maintain your center somehow. Plant your feet. Be where you are. It's not about jumping out of your own life. Pentacles energy, your life. I don't know how I'm going to title this because it sounds pretty woo-woo. On Nine of Pentacles, Emperor. Well, Emperor is also one of those cards that goes both ways. It can be the system, the guy who wears the hat, the one at the top of the hierarchy, Hierophant. the big boss, somebody who wants control. But it's you. You know, it's kind of, you're your own master. You're your own, nobody owns you. In its best aspect, divine masculine is a somebody who takes care of the people within their reach. In the negative aspect, it's a bossy, arrogant, controlling person. Head of the hierarchy, the king, the emperor. And I think somehow we're saying no to authoritarianism. I stumble on the word. Yes to the now, to that alchemical moment when everything changes. We can blend it. Future, past, past, future. Namaste. We have on the board Aries and the Emperor, destiny, all the fixed signs, but, you know, I see wheel as just things turning in our favor because we've changed somehow. We've kind of transmuted energies here. We've blended those extremes, happy, sad, love, grief, all of those things. That's where we get our power. Sorry, this is Sagittarius. Hierophant, that head of the hierarchy, is Taurus, earth energy, and kind of God's representative on earth. And here we are, it's in us. You know, and it's not just the representational host, it's in our daily life. Pentacles energy. I wish I could think of a title. I'll do that next. And I love you guys. I really do. And, you know, I'm not going to be able to post every day. I can just tell my energies will be elsewhere. But they're always with you. And you're always with me. You know, higher self, deeper self, always there, right in the now. Namaste.